Hi, I'm Wendy Brandis. Welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're new around here, you should know that I'm a fine jewelry designer. I used to be a journalist, so I tell a lot of stories. If you have been here before, you know I tell a lot of stories. Either way, I hope you hit the subscribe button so that you don't miss any of my upcoming videos. Right now, I am going to be talking about engagement rings because it's a big part of my job. Oh, there's Eryn making noise with her phone. Anyway, engagement rings are a big part of my job, of course, and people feel a lot of pressure as to what kind of engagement ring they're going to get. Either they feel it should be more traditional than what they want, or that they shouldn't go with the traditional, and it can kind of take away a little from the experience of getting a ring. Whether you're a woman or a man or whoever is proposing to you, we do engagement rings and wedding bands for everyone. It's not necessarily a bride and a groom. But the advice that I have for how to go with the best engagement ring, first of all, I do like, as I say in numerous videos and in numerous blog posts, I really like the recipient, in a lot of cases a bride, to be involved in the design, because as I always say, you're not going to have some straight guy who doesn't really specialize in aesthetics pick out the wedding dress that you're only going to wear for one day. So it's certainly not the best option to let him go shopping with no guidance for the ring that you're hopefully will wear every day for many decades. So I do like someone to have a strong opinion, and the thing is to have the strong opinion. No matter what you love, it's okay with me. Whether you love something that you've seen in a catalog or on a celebrity or in a local store or in a store in a mall, if you feel passionately about that ring, no matter what anyone else thinks about it, that is the ring for you. I should know because the first piece I ever designed was my own engagement ring, followed by my wedding band. And I did it. I wanted rings that didn't look what I called wedding-y. And I did it with the person who would later, this was in 2001. In 2005, she would become my business partner for a brief amount of time. And I wanted something like I thought of, as a lot of people do, I thought of engagement rings as being set very high up and just kind of this weird shaped ring you would never wear ordinarily. So I wanted something that was very flush to my finger and kind of chunky and different. And I had a very specific idea in mind. And I have to say, with all the kindness in her heart, my future business partner, she said, that's a little offbeat what you're talking about, and you might get tired of it. So I did a different design, which there's a few pictures of it remaining, which you can see. And it was very sleek, and I thought very modern, and people who saw it were like, oh, that's kind of different. It wasn't exactly what they expected from an engagement ring. But it wasn't my ideal either, but I felt like, oh, I've got to be practical. I don't want to be tired of it, and that sort of thing. And so that was in 2001. In 2005, I went into business with the same diamond dealer, and so my first experience in the jewelry business was with her. And very sadly, you can read the whole story on my blog, there's a link below, she very sadly died at a tragically young age in 2006, and I had to start the business over by myself without all her knowledge. She was really the person who did all the production and so on. And while all that was going on, in the meantime, I had an accident where I fell outside while I was walking my dog Gigi, the late great Gigi, and fell heavily on my hand and sprained a couple of fingers, including my ring finger. And I have to say, I always advise people not to wear their jewelry. When I come home from work or from being out, I take all my jewelry off. I'm always not into wearing great jewelry around the house all the time, and it was very useful this time because if I had fallen like that, sprained my hand, and had my fingers swell up so quickly, I would have had to go to the emergency room, and they would have been cutting that ring off with a very skinny hacksaw. But I didn't have it on, but so I didn't have to have the ring damaged, but my finger was damaged. and it changed size. I gave it the doctor said give it a year to settle down, but my finger was a different size. So originally what I was going to do was resize my original ring for my new finger. And then I thought, wait, I never was that crazy about this design anyway. Like, let me go back to the original design I wanted. So in 2007, I think it was, I redesigned my entire ring. So now I've been living with the design I originally wanted in 2001 since, a few years later, so 2007, more than 10 years, and I still love it. And I really learned from that the thing you get tired of is the thing that you feel pressured into getting, whether it's more conservative, less conservative than you'd like. Go with what's in your heart, and I swear you will not get tired of it, because you will have that satisfaction of being like, this is the ring that I want. Of course, I also specialize in redesigns of old jewelry, which includes engagement rings. So as some people have found the ring that they loved when they were 25, they don't love quite as much when they're 60, and they want to redesign, and I will happily do that. So you're never without recourse, but to me, it's the most important thing. Go with what you love. If you're the person buying the ring, if you're the person's mother or mother-in-law or father or father-in-law, just as long as the recipient of the ring is happy, everything is going to be good. Try not to pressure someone to go a totally different way, because my ring was a little outside of the box, the ring I ultimately ended up with. I've done much more radical rings than that, and the people have received them with so much joy, and also the person giving the ring has felt a lot of joy knowing that look at my graphic designer Lori's ring. It's completely not a traditional engagement ring, and I just thought this is going to be a great relationship when her husband to be, Brian, hi Brian, was just so ecstatic that he knew that this was what she wanted. And as you can hear in some of my other videos and in my blog posts that are linked below, we can still, just because the person knows what the style of ring is, does not mean the proposal's not going to be a surprise. I will work with you to surprise them, possibly not once, possibly more than once. It really does happen in different phases of the ring and the whole wedding process. And to me, that's the best way to do it. Everyone's happy, everyone's surprised. It's an emotional experience to pick something out for someone and know that for sure that they're really going to love it. So if you would like to discuss a custom engagement ring or wedding band with me, and I do, as I said, my wedding collection is called Wendy Brandis Wedding. It's not Wendy Brandis Bridal, because I do man engagement rings and all kinds of things. It does not matter. It doesn't have to be a bride or a groom. We do it all. So get in touch with me at info@wendybrandis.com. And I work with a lot of different budgets, because engagement rings are just really important to me. They're really important to the people who get them. They symbolize a long-lasting relationship, and I want to make sure that people have what they really love. And if they want something one of a kind, I will make sure you get something one of a kind. And I will have more coming up on engagement rings and other kinds of jewelry on this YouTube channel. So don't forget to click subscribe, and I'll see you again next week.